We kick things off at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea taking on Milan, and a great win for Graham Potter's side as they beat the Italian champions comfortably 3-0. Fofana would get his first goal for the club after a goalmouth scramble in the 24th minute. Aubameyang gets his first Champions League goal in the Champions League for Chelsea in the 56th minute, and then a brilliant finish from Reece James would seal the deal and give Chelsea all 3 points. Crucial, of course, when it comes to qualifying out of this group. Their first win, and it puts them now second, just 1 point off Salzburg, who beat Dynamo Zagreb by 1-0. For more on this, let's welcome in, shall we, Frank Leboeuf's here, Don Hutchison. Craig, overall, as this game went on, Chelsea got better and Milan got worse.
Well, it looked like it was going to be a tough evening in the first 15 minutes or so, and then once the Fofana goal went in from the set piece, which was ridiculous in itself, because I'd had 3 set pieces preceding that, or at least 3, maybe 2, that Thiago Silva had got his head on every one. The marking was terrible, and yet from the Chilwell corner, the same thing happened. And after that, Milan folded. They just lost interest. They lost belief, and Chelsea just took over and dominated the game and went on to cruise control. It was chalk and cheese. Milan out the blocks, got punched in the nose and gave up, basically.
Don't be surprised how quickly kind of Milan capitulated.
Yeah, I mean, don't forget, this Milan side, Dan, have got 9 injuries, 7 first-teamers, so this was nowhere near their full-strength 11, but I expected a little bit more. I thought the game was a little bit flat, to be honest. I thought Aubameyang didn't really do too much until he got his goal. I thought Raheem Sterling was quiet. You see the injury list there. All first-teamers. Simon Kjær would have played, Magnan would have played in goal, Calabria or Florenzi. Maybe not Zlatan, but definitely Salamakers. Maybe not Origi as well, and there's 1 or 2 other players. But apart from when Rafa Leão got the ball in the first 5-10 minutes of the game, I wasn't really off my seat, super excited, especially you see what City were doing when they were just thumping Copenhagen. And, you know, it was a stark reminder early on when Rafa Leão got the ball. Every time he went at Reece James and he went at that back line, he was electric. He didn't see too much of the ball. They had a little rally towards the end. But I think Graham Potter needed that win, Dan. They were sitting bottom of the group. They needed to get back in touch with Salzburg, who are sitting top of the group. They know going to second. They go potentially into the Wolves game with more confidence than into the return leg in the San Siro next week.
Don kind of makes a good point, Frank. It's difficult to say too much about this game, really.
Well, you know, I'm going to have to be a little bit more enthusiastic than you are, guys, because, you know, I remember the last week I was bored, the week before I was really bored, and the week before still. And the only game that I enjoyed from Chelsea in the beginning of the season was against Spurs, you know, in August. So I have to enjoy that win because for the first time I saw something. I saw Mason Mount going back to his best. I saw Reece James being there and scoring a fantastic goal on top of performing very well. And I saw Thiago Silva being very good. And at the end of the day, when you win the Champions League 3-0, yes, okay, with Milan with many injuries, but with the job done, you have to enjoy it. I mean, it's a little bit unfair to say it was flat. It's not perfect, far from perfect, but I finally saw something a little bit more enjoyable in a way that they were a little bit more vertical than they used to be, or they normally are. And I think it's enough for me to be happy until we have the return game next week.
Well, he's got 2 keepers he can choose from now. He's gone with Kepa. He looks as if he's got...
Yeah, Kepa looked confident today,
He looks
didn't
as if he's got his confidence back. As Frank mentioned, you've got... This is the positives. There's a lot of positives. You've got Thiago Silva. Obviously, we know he can marshal the back 4, but it's important that the back 3, but it's important he does that. Reece James is just becoming a bigger powerhouse by every game. Mason Mount, as the boys mentioned, he's got his confidence back. Looks like he's buzzing again. And Aubameyang, whilst wasn't a brilliant performance, got himself a goal. I think Raheem Sterling's end product again needs to sharpen up. It's a hit and a miss. But I think there's lots of positives from a manager who's not had a bundle of time to work with the players, who is under pressure because he goes into this group, this club, that are struggling to get any momentum, that look as if the Champions League was going to be tough for them. They've got their own fight for the top 4. and he's got positions in the field that he needs to fix. You know, defence. It's not just, he just didn't have one problem.
Yeah.
He came into a multitude of problems, a midfield that wasn't functioning, a team that wasn't scoring enough goals, and a team that wasn't keeping clean sheets. And so it's been a big turnaround for him, and I think he's got a little bit of momentum.
Right, right. From a Milan
You
perspective...
didn't seem very interested with that answer there. You just went, right.
When am I ever interested in any of your answers?
I just thought, you could at least have showed a little bit more enthusiasm than what Don showed for the game.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.